was it not? It was a great time. Did you have a good time yesterday? Beautiful weather. It couldn't have been better. I'm really excited for what you guys are going to experience today because we're going to have a great time. This morning, I want to share with you a video featuring some of my favorite YouTubers, Dude Perfect.
And then I was the capital of California. The capital of New York is bomb!
You know, I love Dude Perfect and all the crazy things they do. They do a lot of fun stuff. But life rarely is actually like the things in Dude Perfect, right? And so often in our lives, our expectations don't meet up or match up with the reality of our experience. And last night, as Emma shared about the keys to life that we often think to or think of or look to give our lives meaning and purpose, the things that we look to give us value, they often, the reality of our experience in those things and those keys that we go to, often don't match up with our expectations. And when our reality doesn't match up with our expectations, we often experience disappointment, and life maybe feels a little bit broken. Like this really isn't the way life should be. And so I'm asking our work crew friends to come up this morning and share, come on up this way, share with you all some of the ways that they experience disappointment and brokenness in those three areas of their lives that they talked about yesterday. So they've drawn some red lines on their pictures just to illustrate, hey, this is a place where I felt disappointed, or this is something that felt broken in my life. So we're going to start with Diane.
Hey y'all. So in my family, my parents got divorced when I was 3, and my dad lived in New York City and we lived in Ohio, so I didn't really have a relationship with him. So there was definitely tension and brokenness between our relationship. By the end of my 8th grade year, my baby brother actually ended up passing away as an infant. So there was a lot of tension in my family there, and my mom and my stepdad ended up getting a divorce, and he ended up moving away to South America. So I lacked a father figure in my life through a lot of it. For friends, my friend group of girls were great to me. My friends were really mean to everybody else who wasn't popular in their group, but they were great to me, so I didn't really mind it. The boys at the end of 8th grade started drinking, and it became tension between the boys and the girls because we thought it was gross and we didn't like it because they were doing it to look cool. Me and Trevor were very off and on as an 8th grader, so there was a lot of heartbreak there as well. Dance became a really big heartache in my life as well. My dance teacher began to push me to look a certain way to be the best dancer I could. So I began to not eat the right way, and I began to make myself throw up on purpose, and it was just a lot of hurt in my heart.
Thanks for sharing that, Megan.
Hey guys, so my family situation got harder as things at school got hard for me. My parents got more and more frustrated with me, but they didn't take it out on me. They took it out on my half-sister Megan, and she kind of felt that hurt just as much as I did. My 2 friend groups at school turned into bullies. They bullied me emotionally, physically, and online. And the school nurse was the only person I could really turn to get out of those situations. And even the principals and guidance counselors told her that I was faking sick and separated her from me, and I couldn't go to her anymore. After that, basketball was the last place I could kind of go and find my happiness, and all my bullies played as well, so I had to drop that.
Billy, thanks for sharing that. What about you, Skylar?
So, for my family, my biological father was abusive, a drug addict, and an alcoholic. So we left, my mom and I left him. And as for my stepdad in middle school, we didn't really have a close relationship. I kind of felt like the black sheep of my family because he's very close with my other sisters, but we didn't really have much of a relationship. So for my friends, I kind of got separated from my popular friends. I was kind of just left behind. And then my 2 best friends, Emma moved to California and Caroline moved to Alaska. So I felt really alone. And Brian, the father figure in my life, he committed suicide. So that was really hard. And so when it came to like swimming and soccer, it was just kind of a place where it was like a scapegoat for me. So it was, I could just leave my problems behind and just have fun.
So as I shared yesterday, I was homeschooled for most of my middle school years, and I really had 3 close friends. Dom ended up moving away, and then I ended up moving, so I was really separated from those 3 guys. And I didn't really have a lot of friends, so I just feel very alone. And then swimming, my coach was putting a lot of pressure on me to perform well and just to be at practice more. But even when I did succeed and I did do well and I was at practice, my coach, nothing was really enough for my coach, and I was just kind of very confused on where the line was and what I was doing at practice.
Thanks for sharing that. Brian, what about you?
So as I shared yesterday, my dad passed away when I was in 4th grade. And the grief of that definitely carried on through middle school because he was always my biggest fan, because I kind of felt isolated being the middle child of my family. And then as for my stepfamily, my mom got remarried when I was in middle school, so my entire stepfamily moved in with my biological family, and there was a whole lot of tension in the house and anger and like fights every single day. That was not fun. And then for my new friends, Haley, Maddie, and Bree, they started bullying me an awful lot, and I didn't really recognize it at the time. I just knew that I wanted to impress them because I thought they were really cool. They would tell me how to dress, and sometimes they would tell me to throw away clothes if they didn't think that they were cool enough. And one of the things that they thought was really funny was when I was mean to my best friend Julianne, because I kind of thought she was a nerd. So I did it to impress them. I was really mean to her. And then as for Dominic and Sydney, Dominic stayed in elementary school when I went up to middle school, and Sydney went up to high school, so we stopped running in the same circles. And as for fun, I still sang and songwrote especially to get away from my problems, but they didn't solve anything.
Thanks for sharing. So our work group friends, they've shared some difficult things about what they experienced in middle school. And I want to ask them now what they were thinking and feeling about God in the middle of those difficult circumstances. Diane.
So throughout middle school, I definitely felt very lonely. I was very angry towards God. I didn't understand why He loved me, if He loved me so much, why He was taking so many great things away from my life. I also didn't understand if He loved me, why I felt pressured to continue to be in a sport that was hurting me more than making me grow.
Thanks, Diane. Tilly, what about you?
For me, God felt like this guy that was just way too busy to help me, protect me, and I ended up feeling so alone and afraid of everything. All those guys, all those girls, and I kind of just went to a shell.
Thanks for sharing that, Tilly. What about you, Skylar?
So since there was so much brokenness in my family and not really having a father figure, I didn't understand how God could love me so much when everything was going so wrong.
Thanks for sharing that, Skylar. What about you, Noah?
So for me, it kind of just strengthened the idea that God didn't really have the time for me, and I was alone to solve and deal with my own problems.
Thanks, Noah. What about you, Brian?
So when Haley and Maddie and Bree especially were telling me that I wasn't good enough, I definitely believed it, and I felt like I never quite measured up, and that made me really start hating myself a lot. And I figured if I hated myself so much, how could God possibly care an ounce about me?
Thanks for sharing, guys. Let's give them a round of applause. They're gonna leave the stage now, but what they've shared are some of the truth about what they were really experiencing when they were in middle school, in their real lives. To share that is difficult. And often in the middle of those circumstances that aren't living up to our expectations or that feel broken, we're left with a lot of questions. And we feel confused. Why is this happening? And right now, Emma, she's going to come out and talk about why this is going on. So we're going to bring Emma out. Thanks for listening.